Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Monday morning in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for day number one of the Standardbred Horse Sales Company 85th annual auction, better known as Harrisburg. The final major yearling sale of 2023 is about to get underway here today, and once again, TheStable.ca is live on the grounds and set to go. Welcome inside the Showplex here in Harrisburg. My name is Mark McKelvey, along with Anthony McDonald, who is right on time. And Anthony,
Absolutely.
We get set for day number one. And second time I've been to Harrisburg. Last year was kind of eye-opening. I'll tell you what I did this year. I packed a separate set of clothes in a different bag that I'm just going to burn when I leave here after.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dungeon.
But that said, the temperature not nearly as mild as it was last year on the first day, which I think kind of probably helps the airflow and everything.
Yeah.
But that said, I would safe to say I felt like yesterday it was a little quiet here when we were looking at yearlings compared to the Sunday last year. But this morning, very busy, everybody rolling into town.
Yep.
And you've been doing your homework. You guys have been getting set. We've shot a lot of videos, which we'll be showing over the next few days, including a couple packages here today. But your assessment of what to expect here in Harrisburg for 2023.
Well, I've told all our clients this is what I would call a shopping cart sale for us. We've acquired a lot of horses. We're at 45 right now. Most of what we wanted, we got already, and I've been very, very happy with what we've been able to acquire, whether it be Ohio, Ontario, Lexington, privately, whatever have you. But here in Harrisburg, there's something for everybody, as you say. It's a big, big store, and at the end of the season, a lot of people here are looking for different things. What we're looking for is just to fill in those cracks. So we haven't got a ton of Pennsylvania trotters. Last year we had tons. This year we don't have a ton of Pennsylvania trotters, so we're looking for those. An Ontario trotting filly potentially. I believe Pennsylvania pacing filly possibly. Things of that nature, that kind of fit in there. And of course, we're going to be looking for value. I did find it very odd and very interesting that there wasn't a ton of people here yesterday. And is that going to affect the sale? I don't know. And that's the beauty of the sales, and that's what's so exciting about them, is you never know what's going to happen. And we have a number of lists. I have tons of lists that I've compiled of, if the sale starts to shift this way, if these horses, if the bar hoppings are selling light, well, maybe you'd want to look at these two or three. And, the green shoes, I know a lot of people are a little sheepish. They didn't have the greatest year, but I tell everybody, you can't judge a sire on one crop. It's not a smart thing to do. And when it comes to Green Shoe himself, the mares that he acquired it's a deep book. So again, that has to play a role. Are people going to step away from the green shoes a little bit? Are we going to be able to find value there? These are all as I like to say, the storylines of the sales and what makes them as cool as they are.
All right, so we're moving into the final major yearling sale, which means you guys have had some time to already start working with your current group of babies. Yeah. Does that at all shift your focus when you come to Harrisburg, in the sense of maybe you're seeing something from the offspring of a first crop, or is it too early to tell? Like, you're not going to be completely jaded just yet when you come to Harrisburg?
That's a great question. Chimpanzees and Sire, right? We bought 3 chimpanzees. I like all 3 of them. I like the work we did in Kentucky this year. All of our trainers worked so hard, whether it was, Jason, Dominic, Mario, Harry. But again, Eric Padlin and his wife Kathy had our horses in Kentucky. We started out in Oak Grove. They worked for us in the winter. I had sent them down to Oak Grove. He did well in Oak Grove. We stayed from Oak Grove and kept some horses over to Lexington. And then, a huge show for me to win, to win those 2 major stake races there, the International Stallion and the Bluegrass, right, with Pickpocket. It was a lot of fun, and we had a huge run with Arson also in Kentucky. So we had a great run at Lexington. Then we carried that over to Corbin and won the final with Memory and Imagination there, and then ended up doing well with Arson there. He was 3rd in the final. We had a great run in Kentucky. So a chimpanzee colt would be really cool, but I don't think you're going to acquire them. If the prices translate at all from Lexington to here, we're not going to get anywhere near a chimpanzee, that's for sure. So yes, in regards to what you're saying, how do we approach a sale? Do what we have affect what we're looking for? Oh, 100%. 100%.
All right. Well, as we look into today, it's going to be, I guess you could almost say, it's not the same as Lexington, where night number one necessarily. It's just absolutely loaded. There's going to be a lot of fireworks, but I think it's safe to say it's maybe the best day on paper would be day number one here.
I think it would. It's supposed to be,
Yeah.
I believe. Now, if you look, this is Lexington, a little bit the same, but more Harrisburg, where you'll find pockets of really deep pedigrees all throughout the catalog. Where Lexington, you're right, that day one fire burn, or money burning party that they have is usually strong. And there are good horses throughout the entire catalog, but Harrisburg is a different beast in its own right. One, by volume, it's a much bigger sale. Two, it is a different makeup of the catalog because this is Hanover sale for the most part. So you have a lot of Hanover horses scattered throughout the sale, and other consignments follow suit, right? Some of our top picks of the entire sale are in the 400s. So yes, it is a different sale in that regard.
Now, yesterday we were going around looking at a lot of the yearlings. You were doing that again this morning. Are you trying to go day by day, or do you? I mean, I know exactly kind of what we did yesterday, but for those that are tuning in, I mean, you'll just look ahead to day 3 already, right? Like, it's not really, it doesn't really matter what day you go and look at them.
Well, for us, the videos we were doing were important. So day 1 and 2 was important.
Priority.
What we were doing for us, I've already looked at the day 3 and the day 4 horses that I'm interested in. So I already know where we're going and what we're looking at. But as I said, a little different vibe. In Lexington, let's look at everything we can look at, find out what we can get for the most value we can get it for, but we had a much bigger shopping cart in Lexington. And that's no dig on Harrisburg. I think it's a great sale. It's just the last sale. So when we go through what we have already acquired, again, we're just trying to fill in the gaps and the cracks of the stable. And that's not to say that these are inferior horses. Oh, this one will fit. No, we'll put that one over here. No. These are still very, very deep pedigrees. We're looking to find the most value we can find, but we're also looking to find the horses we need. And so when I say a shopping cart sale, it isn't in any reference to demean the sale. It's a fantastic sale. It's just to say that this is what we have, this is what we're looking for, and who fits in there.
Now, on Tuesday and Wednesday morning, we'll have a chance to reflect on hopefully the purchases from the day prior, but we're starting from scratch here today. If you want to maybe go in any direction, maybe kind of highlight a few horses before we do have videos, but where are you kind of targeting? And is today, you think, going to be the busiest day for you, or is today maybe just to sit back and watch?
This is different. It's such a different feel. I don't know. There's a number of, if you'd asked me, I mean, when you look at the horses that I truly kind of quietly want, they're later on in the sale. But there are a number of horses on day 1, but it would have to be value, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to buy a 6-figure horse today? No, probably not. But there are horses on day number 1. I'm looking at a litany of horses here that I thought were pretty good-looking horses that'll fit into what we're trying to do, but price, right? It would have to be, and for those of you out there that know how we operate, I looked at all these horses. I priced every single one of them. And as that horse goes in the ring, I know what I'd be willing to pay. If we can get that horse for 10, 20, 25% less than that number, if I'm doing my job properly, then that's a good deal. Then we'll probably grab that horse. Now, there's a lot that goes into that, as I say it. But yes, we'll be on the lookout for value. But day 1 today in Harrisburg, value would be the name of the day for sure.
All right, well, we do have some video packages that we've put together to take a look at some of the horses that we'll be selling here today. So let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at that first package and kind of give you a sneak peek at what could be on the radar for this afternoon session.
I think you're going to have to do the bidding on this one.
We often talk about horses that we had that we bought siblings to. Now, they're not all great, right? Oh my gosh, you ended up being a flop and didn't really do that much good for us. He looked nothing like this guy. This is Oh Behave. This is a green shoe brother to him, but also a green shoe brother to Capricornus, who was a good horse. Took a mark of 52-2, made $265,000 and was exported internationally. This is a really good looking horse, and he almost just took a round out of me a second ago. But man, what a good looking animal. We see a lot of the green shoes. They don't all look the same, but they all kind of have a similar build. Not this guy. He is a giant of an animal. So Oh Behave, here's a guy stuck in an odd spot in the sale. Oh Brother was paid for pretty good money last year. Didn't turn out as well. That's this guy's full brother. We had the one before that, and he certainly didn't turn out, and the one before that did. The second dam, Cedar Dove. I don't have to tell you guys about the family underneath these horses, but I always tell everybody, it's wonderful to look at a page, but we don't race the pages. We do race the horses, and this is a beautiful, beautiful, good-looking green shoe son, January 31st foal, and his name is Oh Behave, selling very early here on day number 1. Here's number 27, Warrior. Very interesting here. Number 27 is early in the sale. Now you have a second foal first dam and a second dam that doesn't have a whole lot on there also. I'm just trying to see how many foals. 4 foals, not a whole lot on there. You have to go way down to the third dam to find Euro Bond, Lindy's True Grit. So again, you have a little softer top end of number 27 Warrior and a strong third dam all the way down to the third. So I'm a little surprised he fit into number 27, but again, when looking at the horse, you can see why. But these are the types of horses that sometimes you find a little bit of a bargain on, right? People are looking for day one pedigrees, day one horses, and they end up with a good looking horse that is a day one looking horse, but maybe not that day one pedigree. And who's to say? What the hell do I know? But when I'm looking at horses, I always like to look and see, where does this horse place? How much interest, day one interest, would be on number 27 Warrior? And I don't know that there would be a ton. So I'm very interested to see what's going to take place here on day number 1 with Warrior. This is a gorgeous looking Walner colt, but the pedigree might be a tiny bit light. So we'll see. We'll see. A horse that we're very interested in is number 27 Warrior. We'll see how he sells here early on day number 1. Lucky number 13, that's how many foals it took to get to number 31. Walner's Mega Girl, oh my God, Steve will love this name. Walner's Mega Girl, this is a May 16th filly, and she is out of the same family as Behind Closed Doors. Very good horse in her own right. Tequila Talkin', who I've raced against many, many times in the open trot in Pennsylvania and all around Pennsylvania and Ohio. Just been a really, really good horse in Seven Nation Army, who I know was sold and exported. This is a strong family, very strong family, and a very good looking filly. I'm interested. I wonder, can we find some value in a 13th foal? Can we get a little discount maybe? We shouldn't by the looks of her. She is a gorgeous filly, but you never know what's going to happen when you get in the sale ring. So number 31, Walner's Mega Girl, is a filly we're going to be watching very, very closely on day number 1 here in Harrisburg. Bar Boomer. This number early in the sale. Wow, early in the sale, bar hopping. Day number 1, Pennsylvania eligible colt, March 14th colt out of an Andover Hall mare. Now the second dam is where Major Athens and Dover Miss are. First dam has first foal from the first dam here in Andover Hall mare. A gorgeous horse. It actually looks like a day 1 horse. I was just surprised to see, and I don't mean to you know, talk down towards bar hopping. We've had luck with them, and I certainly wouldn't shy away from any bar hoppings. I'm just a little surprised to see one as early on day 1 in the Harrisburg sale. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe that's on me, certainly not on the horse. But number 36, Bar Boomer, is a really, really good-looking colt. That Pennsylvania, again, we're in here. We need some Pennsylvania horses. Are we going to find one on day 1 under the bargain heading? I doubt it. But on the off chance we do, Bar Boomer is definitely on my list. I like this horse a lot. Let me see, I'm going to price him. I like this guy a lot. We'll see what we can do, if we can bring home a bar Boomer or not. But number 36 Bar Boomer is a good looking colt selling here on day number 1 from Harrisburg. Can we walk him somewhere? Maybe just do some donuts with him? Yeah, sure. Yeah, he moves nice. Ooh, here, let me see, is he told me? Yeah, it looks nice. I'm always telling everybody, when it comes to the sales, I can bring you the most expensive ones. I can show you the ones that'll bring the most and cost the most and talk about how we can buy them, or I can just cut through it and try to show you the horses that we could or should buy. Horses that I think will have lots of value attributed to them, horses that'll do us some good, and why I believe they'll do us some good. Number 42, Pageant Girl, selling on day 1. To me, looking at this filly, nice filly, but is she a day 1 pedigree? Again, there's lots of stuff that I miss in here, and it's all subjective. So take it for what it is worth. But when I look at Pageant Girl, I see a really nice looking, medium-sized Walner filly that would do really well. day 2, maybe day 3. Day 1 might be a stretch, number 42. And sometimes what happens when you try to fit that square peg into a round hole, sometimes it doesn't work very well. So she might bring 100, 150,000, I have no idea, but for quite a bit less, I think that she may fit nicely into our barn. She is dual eligible, New Jersey and Kentucky eligible. She is a Walner filly from a Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe mare. This is the 4th foal. 2 of them are winners. All 3 of them have raced at 2, which is nice to know. And then in the second dam, you get good horses, like the Chancellor made $670,000. There's good pedigree here and lots of money and speed, but I think that this is a type of horse where it might be that square peg in the round hole type situation. I could be wrong. We'll find out on day number 1. And if I'm right, you could see number 42, Pageant Girl, coming home with us. The May 18th Walner filly, dual eligible, selling here on day number 1. Her name is Pageant Girl. Uncle Bjorn, number 75. Now, we know this family very well. 13th foal. This is Brace for Landing's full brother. That's funny because when you push the updates tab on the second side, on the right side of your catalog, if you have an iPad, the 2 updates are Brace for Landing, timed in 54, mark of 55, 67,000 made, and Memory and Imagination in the second dam, 100,000 made. Both are wrong. Now, they both have more than that made now, but I love both those horses. So Brace for Landing's brother, any kind of dig. I see he's got splints up front. He's a little out in his knees. Not bad at all, but a little bit out in his knees. He's built a lot like Brace, maybe a little more coarse, but very, very similar. Obviously, they're full brothers. So I'll be watching Uncle Bjorn very closely. Is he going to fit into our budget? I doubt it. But you never know. You never know. I'll be watching him anyway. I have a lot of respect for his brother, and this guy is a lot more physically mature than Brace for Landing was when we saw him at 2. In fact, he looks as mature as he is right now at the end of his 3-year-old season. So I'm going to be watching Uncle Bjorn. Certainly won't hesitate if he starts to sell a little light, but I doubt that will happen. The entire family sells pretty strong, but it is the 13th foal, so you have to look at that also. We'll see what happens on day number 1 here with Uncle Bjorn, selling from Concord's consignment, the February 27th colt. So he is obviously way more mature. A February 27th colt selling on day 1 here at Concord. His name is Uncle Bjorn.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 1, 2, 3 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
By now, you know the name COSA TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. COSA TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA TV, taking Ontario racing global.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's the first day of the Standardbred Horse Sale Company's 85th auction is about to get underway. Coming up at noon, Mark McKelvey and Anthony McDonald with you. And Anthony, we were just looking at our first video package as we get set for the first day. We looked at a lot of horses yesterday as well as this morning. And, well, we'll get to some of the storylines in just a moment. We'll see a little bit later on. We'll get to hip number 153, and that is You Don't Own Me, a Father Patrick colt, who is a full brother to Memory and Imagination. Now, of course, I'm sure for you guys, it's something that it's going to catch your eye right away. Is there a brother or sister to one of your stable horses that is selling, especially one that you've had success with, like you talked about? Does that become one that you most definitely have to look at, or sometimes, now we're talking about a horse that just won a Sire Stake final,
Yeah.
the value's probably gone up here.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. We have a number of people that will, all people all the time say, oh, I hate buying siblings of my horses. You had a good one, you're never going to have enough. That's just ridiculous. And when it comes to each horse, sure, I'm going to go and look at the brother. It doesn't mean I'm going to like the brother, and I'm not going to like the brother more because we had memory and imagination. That particular horse is a good-looking horse, and when it came to memory and imagination, he ended up with, I think, a mark of 57 that day in the mud out of the 8-hole in Cumberland, and he'd made well over $100,000 and had a great year.
Yep.
And that's even wrong. He made 135 because the last win isn't on there.
That's right.
So he was, and could have made more. People don't even understand what went on to that horse. This summer, he was on his way to the stake final. The final of the stakes in Pennsylvania. He had drawn the 8-hole, but as it worked out, I was in a second over position with him, and he was going to get a good trip, but he'd flipped his pallet, which he'd never done in his life. Earlier on in the day, Megan was taking insider trading and him to the races that day, and there was a fatality on the road up ahead, and the whole road was shut down. Those horses stood on the trailer for 5 hours plus. Yeah. And when he flipped his pallet, I was very concerned. We had him looked at by the vet, and they said, get the inflammation out of there, give him a couple of weeks off. Well, in 2.5 weeks was the final he was eligible to in Kentucky. So we had him kind of ready for the final in Kentucky, which he drew into and ended up fourth, beat a length and a half for second, trotted like 53 and a piece that day. Had he not been in that accident that day, been involved in the traffic jam, who knows what would have happened in that second over trip in the final. We would have been able to bring him into Kentucky tight rather than short. Who knows what could have happened that day also. A lot of different things. Just that one little snapshot in time might have cost him, jeepers, a couple $100,000, to be honest. And he had a tremendous year. So to say we like his brother, absolutely we like his brother. When I was doing my videos, I caught myself kind of not sounding very energetic and enthusiastic about the horse, and it was really just because I don't think we're going to be able to buy that horse. He's going to go for pretty good money. His brother, I think we paid $77,000 for him last year. He's had a tremendous year. To think that we would get this guy for less would be unlikely. So yes, in that particular time, in that storyline, I know the story behind the horse. But he also had a great year, and I suspect his brother will sell very good today.
Now, when you look at some of these horses that you guys have had success with, do you get the consigners and breeders coming to you, especially when they got a sibling to sell, going, hey, thanks very much?
Yeah, actually, we did. It was funny. You were with us when one of the owners of the Pickpocket family bought us dinner that night. Remember the night we went out and stuck him with the bill? It was
you said it, not me.
So David ended up picking up the bill that night at the steakhouse because Pickpocket had won the International Stallion that day. And then his brother subsequently sold the next day for $250,000 or something. And obviously we played a role in that. Now, steak was great, so I'm not going to complain. Delicious. It worked out very well. Pickpocket was a tremendous horse for us. His brother hopefully will be a tremendous horse for Aki, I believe is who got him. And for the breeder, the consigner, everybody involved with that horse, it was a great story. So yes, from time to time we'll have somebody saying, hey, thanks, memory and imagination was good. You had a great summer with them. And it's a great feeling, listen, to know that you bought somebody's horse here or at another sale, broke it, trained it down, raced it, had luck with it, and now that they're going to benefit from that horse doing well also. It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling, actually.
Well, we were talking just before we came on camera about some of the storylines. What are some of them that are standing out to you? Again, is it these first crop sires? Is there anything that you're really going to be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, I think the Burr Hoppings were a little undervalued this year. I watched a couple of them sell in Lexington. Is that going to happen this year? If it is, the stable will likely bring 3 or 4 Burr Hopping homes from Harrisburg. I mean, they're good horses, and it was so sad and unfortunate that the horse had passed away, but I believe this might even be his last crop, or maybe next year.
I think next year,
Well, he makes nice horses. We've had a lot of luck with Burr Hopping, so that's something we're watching. How are people going to be sheepish on the green shoes? I know everybody stormed into Lexington, and I said to somebody, every time you say, oh, there's going to be a sale somewhere, all of a sudden it doesn't turn into a sale anymore. Now There's no bargains. People are there buying horses, and I think that the green shoes, I think, were propped up a little bit in Lexington. Are those crutches are they going to be present here today? I don't know. Maybe for the fillies, but the colts might lack a little bit. There are some earlier in the sale that I did find very interesting. And as I said, I'm not judging a sire on one crop. And if we can find some value in the green shoe colts at least throughout the earlier parts of the sale, then that's something we're going to be looking at also.
Well, it was brought up last night when we were out at dinner, the fact that Bettor's Delight didn't have a great first crop. 20 years now it's been. That longevity. One crop, I guess it can make or break some of the mares you're going to get going forward after.
And that's a big deal,
and that's probably the main reason why some don't eventually find that success that they could have.
And you hit that, it's a good point you're making. And when you look at international money, right, and people should pay attention to this, international money first crop, I think, was an overachievement for the sire. He did very, very well, but did not have a strong book of mares. So the next year, obviously those horses were foaled long before the first crop. The next 2 years, the depth of the mares just isn't there. But I think from that first year's success, you've had people going to international money. Maybe not this year, but next year, starting next year, and definitely the year after, I think you're going to see a much stronger book for a horse like international money. So for those people out there like myself that are looking for value, have a look at the international money. It's because he's a good sire. But most definitely next year, and even moreover the year after that, I think he's going to have a very deep book of mares, as he should, because he did very, very well for what he was offered in his first year as a sire.
Well, it's kind of funny. The whole sport really is, what have you done for me lately, right?
Yeah.
I mean, drivers, trainers, owners, and it goes into the breeding game as well.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, people, we just talked about bar hopping, right? He was so hot, everybody wanted bar hopping, then he passed away, and they're like, bar hopping. And it is, what have you done for me lately? You know, I have a lot of, I spent a lot of time believing I was going to be a good driver also, but I know a lot of people that, have to train and drive. And this game, I tell our clients all the time, it's merciless. It is a tough business. And for the breeders too, you have a bad year, you just got to suck it up and push forward and hope that next year is better. And there's just so many intangibles. This is such a fluid industry, top to bottom, in every facet. That's what we love about it, is the intangibles, what we can't understand or quite quantify. That's what draws us to the industry. But when it comes to this industry in particular, it's tough. Yeah, it's a tough one.
No doubt about it. Don't sell yourself short on the driving. Come on, you're just stepping in sometimes cold even these lately. Although drove quite a bit all season long. Yeah. What we were talking about in Lexington, I don't know if you know. Well, we did get on camera that night after Pickpocket won the second week. But you hadn't even driven for pretty much 7 days, right?
No,
between his win and then the next week win.
It's tough, when you go on the track, and I can't speak for Brian Sears and Yannick and those guys, but when you haven't driven, it's much like baseball, right? Anybody can get up and throw a baseball. Yep. I'm sure you can hit the strike zone. But if you're going to be a top, you imagine, here's Anthony McDonald, going to drive against Yannick and Dexter and all those guys, and I haven't driven for a week. Yeah, a little nerve-wracking.
Are you in the rhythm? Are you sharp?
But it's a little bit different in the sense that I know Pickpocket, right? We have a relationship. I know him. I know what he's capable of. So as long as I don't ask him for too much or put him in a bad spot, I'll be okay. But for me, just to jump out and drive a horse that I didn't know, it would have been pretty stressful, I think, pretty taxing. And at the end of the day, you go out and you do the best you can, right? You step up to the plate, you swing the bat, you hit a home run or a single or double, great. You strike out, that's baseball. And it's the same for horse racing, and hopefully you get those opportunities to come back to the plate. And that's the tough part of driving, is that you strike out a couple of times, nobody's calling you off the bench. And that's the tough part of being a driver. And it's so hard. I've given up on that aspect of things for the most part. I can drive a horse. I know where the winner's circle is at every racetrack. I do okay because we're racing our horses. But for the guys out there trying to make a grind of it, I see, you see Jody here on his birthday. We'll talk to him in a minute. You can ask him about it. But him and Mark and people that had done so good that I was close to all throughout the years. And then as you get older, you see Dexter taking all the drives, and Todd taking all the drives, and these younger kids doing. James, perfect example. In his prime, you don't realize until it's maybe past you that, it's a tough game.
Certainly is.
I feel very fortunate in the sense that I can, I have transitioned away from trying to be that grinding catch driver of any caliber to doing something I really love and being involved with people I love every day and driving the horses that we acquire, that are acquired for special classes. And it's worked out well, and I just feel fortunate every single day I get to do it.
No doubt about it. Well, I'll let you slide away for a little bit. We'll take another timeout. Well, not really a timeout. We're going to look at some more of the yearlings that are selling here today. And when we come back, we'll try and get a special guest in that chair. All right, we'll be back with more coverage here from Harrisburg.
Number 76, Princess Dream. This is a very well-bred, oddly, very inbred, I think, filly by I don't know, I could be wrong, but she's by muscle mass, and the second dam is also by muscle mass, which a little tight, I think, a little tight. At the same time, a very good-looking filly. This is a sister to Warwee Yes. This is a sister to Warwee Michelle. Testing, testing. This is a filly that should raise a lot of eyebrows for a lot of different reasons, but one of them is definitely how good she looks out here walking around. I don't know enough about breeding to say it's wrong or it was a mistake. I have no idea, but I do know I see a lot of muscle masses on this page. So number 76, Princess Dream, Ontario only eligible filly, and she is a good looking filly by muscle mass. I liked her video, I like her, I like everything about her. I don't know enough about the breeding, but muscle mass filly I do like, and lots of pedigree to look at on this page. So all jokes aside, number 76, Princess Dream, is a very good looking filly. Selling on day number 1 from Hunterton here in Harrisburg. Well, I'll tell you what, I have a list of like 60 horses to look at Preferred, to go through and look through. And somebody had this guy out on the floor, and I went and looked, and I said, you know, I don't really want a Chapter 7. And I love Chapter 7. That's not to say that I don't like Chapter 7 in any way, shape, or form. It's just the shopping cart sale, right? He's not really on the list of things to buy. But when they pulled this guy out, he's New York, Kentucky, and Massachusetts eligible. Interesting, which will mean he'll go for a lot, but a very interesting horse. You might say, well, he's small. He's actually on the bigger side of the Chapter 7s as far as they're concerned. And now that you have to deal with Chimpanzee, also on the bigger side of that line also. This is the first foal from a Muscle Hill mare, very first foal, and she herself made $175,000 and took a mark of 52-4. The second dam is where it gets kind of cool. I saw Snow White. Snow White is a world champion, an absolute killer. But Snow White's sister, I keep forgetting, is the mother of Looks Like Money. So you have all these mares in the second dam that are branching off, and throwing all these, well, I shouldn't say throwing all these nice horses. I know ours is a nice horse for sure. So we have Looks Like Money's mother in the second dam, Snow White in the second dam. First foal from a Muscle Hill mare who's eligible to 3 jurisdictions, New York, Kentucky, and Massachusetts. So although I'm not here for Kentucky bred, 2/3 of this horse's staking is not in Kentucky. So technically, he could fit on the list. A horse that was not on my radar, but absolutely was once I saw them pulling him out. Man, what a good looking colt this is. Number 86. His name is Grand Old Chap. He sells on day one here in Harrisburg. Yeah, I kind of like it. Yeah, he's a gold star. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know enough about FaceTime Bourbon, but I've seen 2 or 3 of them, and I like at least 2 of them. One colt, one filly, I like very, very much. Now, I can tell you why I shouldn't, because they're not eligible to any staking jurisdiction anywhere. But having said that, they are eligible to be entered in a lot of other stake races. The Arden, for example, the Courier Knives. There are stake races for these horses. There's just no Pennsylvania sires, New York sires, things of that nature. And most of all, we are looking for good-looking horses, right? So here you got Gilda B, or Gilda Bai, a bay filly, April 19th, first foal from a Yankee Glide mare. And that mare is a sister to Chris's Dream, who Chris Dream, all those horses, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Carter Michael Dio is right there, yes, also. A Spirit of Dio is there. So we've had lots of horses just out of the second dam of this mare. So I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to buy a horse. If this FaceTime Bourbon filly is the type of filly that we might get at a reduced rate, reduced price, I won't hesitate to buy her. This is a beautiful filly, number 97, Gilda B, Gilda Bai, selling here on day number 1. Day number 1 in Harrisburg. 2 really good looking. So 109 Wattage Blue Chip. This is a Poppy Rob Hanover. A Poppy Rob Hanover filly, and she is, well, she's dual eligible. How'd that happen? Dual eligible Poppy Rob Hanover is, this is a Pennsylvania, Massachusetts filly. They did tell me to watch her hind end. She's got an eye on her, like she just loved to tear your head off. This is a March 10th filly, as I said, by Poppy Rob Hanover, out of a sister to Andravet. Now, one previous foal, that was an American Ideal Voltage Blue Chip. Any updates here? Nope, no updates on this one. So, Wattage Blue Chip, a good-looking filly. We haven't got a Poppy Rob Hanover. I know a number of our clients are saying, are you going to? Is this a horse that's on your list? Of course he is. I'd love to get a Poppy Rob Hanover, but it would have to be at the right price. And I'm not sure that we're going to be able to find a day one Poppy Rob Hanover that fits in our price range. But if we do, and this filly fits in, then this is definitely a filly. Whether she likes to throw right hooks or not, this is a filly that we would be interested in. Number 109, Wattage Blue Chip, selling here on day number 1 out of Blue Chip. Yeah, that's tactile landing. Yes. Kurt. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. Do this one and then that one.
Gotta get it walking.
What's that?
Want to get the horse walking.
Absolutely. That's 3-point Blue Chips, brother. Yeah. We're doing this filly first.
Way down there.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to put it in there. Boo. Number 111, Jamais Vu. New Jersey only Walner Colt. Now this is the 13th foal. So Freddie, you can turn your video off right now. 13th foal, who is a brother to DeJambro. His mother is a sister to Man of Many Missions. We just did a video about that family also. Really, really good looking colt. And if I'm not mistaken, now there's a lot of print on here, but I believe the latest one, Sharp Armbro, is the one that won the Breeders' Crown elimination for Tron Smedgehammer. I don't know how he did in the final, but and that was the most recent brother to this horse, if I'm not mistaken. So Jamais Vu is a very, very good looking Walner colt. No faults on this guy. Man, he is a good looking colt. Late in day number 1. Late in day number 1 in a Walner. This guy should attract a lot of attention, but nevertheless, we are certainly going to be interested in him. Man, what a good looking colt. Now, following along with the shopping cart rules, he is only a New Jersey eligible colt, so he would have to fall into our laps again, like some of the other horses here, but that's possible. That's very possible. Number 111 is a horse we are absolutely interested in and absolutely going to keep a very close eye on. I guess if I was going to give him one dig, just noticed as he turned the corner, oh, he's a tiny bit towed in, but that's indicative of the breed also. So we're not too worried about that. Jamais Vu is one good looking animal here, selling on day number 1 in Harrisburg. Number 112, Sugar Man. I've had a ton of people that are clients of ours say, hey, what about a Poppy Rob Hanover? We've looked at plenty and we bid on some, but we haven't got any yet. And this could be our first colt by Poppy Rob Hanover, our first horse at all by Poppy Rob Hanover. Will we be able to get Sugar Man? I'm skeptical. 6th foal on the top end, but the second end is where all the cool stuff happens. Sweet Lou's in the second dam, so is Bittersweet, Nutcracker Sweet. There is a lot of really, really nice horses here in the second dam. And you have nice horses in the top dam also. A little unsung, you've got Taste of Honey. Took a mark of 52 and 1 as a 2-year-old, made 140,000 by Huntsville. You have another Always Be Mickey coming up on 100,000, mark of 53 and 1 as a 2-year-old on a 5/8. Unsung Hero, 51 on a 5/8 by Always Be Mickey. So lots and lots of speed and talent in this family. So I'm not really sure that we can afford the Sugar Man, but you never know. He's not a giant, he's not a monster. He's just a really well put together, I would say, I'm not scared to say it, he is a smaller horse. He's not even a medium-sized horse just yet, but he is going to be a perfect-sized horse by the time he gets to the races. Little small, good-looking body on him, nice-looking colt, really strong family, number 112. The May 19th son of Poppy Rob Hanover. His name is Sugar Man.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
By now, you know the name COSA TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. COSA TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA TV, taking Ontario racing global.
All right, it's a beautiful Monday morning in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as we're getting set for day number 1. And pleased to be joined by a special guest, the president of the Standardbred Horse Sales Company, Dale Welk. And Dale, thanks so much for taking some time. I know obviously it's a busy time, and especially on day number 1, but how's the buzz, how's the vibe around day 1 here right now?
The buzz has been real great. Yesterday it was tremendous, a tremendous turnout, and a great crowd here today. And consigners seem to be very upbeat. Everyone's upbeat, so we're all looking forward to it.
Now, obviously, the sales have been doing pretty well in recent years, but what was your feeling coming into this year? Was the buzz, the buzz is good today and yesterday, but leading up, even in recent weeks, did you expect that it was going to be a good turnout?
In recent weeks, I was expecting a good turnout right from the beginning. In recent weeks, with the world situation and other situations going on, it's a little bit scary, but I think we're going to be fine. I think our the high-end horses hold their own.
Now here at TheStable.ca, there's going to be a lot of focus on the yearlings this week, but you also have the mixed sale later in the week. Just talk about the current climate, where we're at right now, because obviously a lot of people are opting with the developments online, but still it looks like you guys have been able to put together a strong catalog on the mixed sale side as well.
Yes, we probably have one of the strongest mixed sales that I've ever seen. I've been doing this for 34 years and been coming here for over 47 years, but I was really impressed with the mixed catalog. We were a little shaky at first, but people want to put their hands on these horses.
Absolutely. There's nothing like a sale. That's how I always tell people.
Right.
And you've mentioned how long you've been here, but you were telling me before we came on camera that the setup, everything's changed over the years. Even the manpower it takes to put this sale on has really developed.
Yes, it's technologically it's developed, but even so, just the setup. When this first started, the hospitality areas was a coffee pot on a tack trunk. Now the hospitality areas take half as much room as the yearlings do, or the horses do. But no, it's a lot of development. We didn't have walk rings, we didn't have the safety features, but every year there's something new.
And what exactly, when you look at the full calendar year from the end of one sale to the next, is there ever really a downtime, or when do you start working on next year's sale?
I've already got stuff in line for next year, our hotels and all that stuff. I have 60 rooms at one hotel and 29 rooms at another hotel here for just the staff. I've already made orders for next year of equipment and such. So it's a year-round process. I do get some break, but then when I'm not doing that, I'm operations manager for Hanover Shoe Farms also, and Penn State Expo. We bought the curtain decorating company.
Now looking at the consignment from Hanover, expecting another good sale?
Yeah, Hanover's expecting a good sale. It's going to be a good sale for sure. We got not a lot, but we got quite a few full brothers and full sisters of some of the top horses in the industry right now, some of the top race horses. So really looking forward to a stellar day today.
Absolutely. We're wishing you all the best. Before we let you go, though, the current climate of racing, and again, I talk about the developments online. Do you continue to see, though, and we said nothing like a horse sale, nothing like coming here and being
Right.
here in person, but can you continue to see this for the foreseeable future staying strong? The
Yeah, I
in-person
think
sale?
so for the foreseeable future,
Yeah.
especially the mixed sale. Again, I talked to several prominent breeders that they're not going to spend a couple hundred or 300,000 for a mare without touching her, you know.
Absolutely.
And race horses, it might be a little different. I think the race horse, because people see them, they're in, you know, they're in the public eye all the time, and so it. I think the mixed sale will stay strong for a while, and I think it's all done. And we've declined. I mean, I remember when the last tip number here was 2680.
Wow.
Now it's 15. Well, it's 1500 and something, and it just declining a bit each year. But I think we're still good to go.
Well, we appreciate you letting us set up here and enjoying the week's festivities. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wishing you the best of luck, and thanks so much for dropping by.
Well,
taking some
thank you.
time.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Dale Welk, president of the Standard Horse Sales Company. We'll take another time.
Together, Curtis. Last year, right here in this very, probably exactly where we're standing, one of my top picks of sale, I believe actually my top pick of the sale, was here. We didn't get her. I was the underbidder on her. She ended up going to Ohio, I believe, and not racing this year. Her name was Genevieve. She was a green shoe filly, and this is her Walner sister. I loved the filly's video last year, and I do love this filly's video this year. Man, she's well put together. She's very correct up front, behind, moves nice in her video. Really no faults whatsoever I can find with number 113, Kendra. What I do believe is it's going to be extremely difficult to purchase Kendra. No, you can purchase her, but it's going to take pretty good money, I think, to get this filly. She moves nice. She looks nice. If anything, my eyes keep drawing me to her hind end a little bit. She seems a little stiff maybe on them, but that's could be a million different things. I mean, you have to keep in mind too, you know, these are all yearlings that have all shipped, some of them quite a ways, to come to a place they'd never been before and be looked at by people over 3 days. So it does get a little taxing and a little stressful on them. Number 113 at the end of the day is a filly we are very, very interested in, but a filly I honestly just don't think we'll be able to purchase. We'll see. Eyes will be all on her as she walks in the ring late on day number 1 here in Harrisburg. Number 113, Kendra. I'm not going to say my top pick, but she's up there for day 1. Well, I was very disappointed. I looked at the name of number 121, Tishan, and all I saw was Tidian. This is a named after an artist, obviously. A filly, New Jersey only filly, born March 9th. Tishan is a half-sister to Back of the Neck. Wow. You can call her whatever you want. She's probably going to fetch a good chunk of money just because of the family that's underneath her name. Man, she's a good-looking filly in her own right, and a well-put-together filly, but at the same time, all of her value is going to be held because of who her brother is. So Back of the Neck's sister, Tishan, will be selling here later on in day number 1 here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and she is a very good-looking filly by Muscle Hill, number 121, Tishan, or for you juveniles out there, Tidian, will be selling on day 1 here in Harrisburg. Ready? Well, if you're going to have good horses, you're going to run across their siblings from time to time, and number 123 is a perfect example. This is a full brother to Kings County. Wow, what a good-looking horse. De Kooning. De Kooning is a full brother to Kings County by Muscle Hill, obviously, as Kings County rolls up on top of $500,000 made, and I'm certain he'll get there. His brother will be looking on, hopefully be looking on from the stable barn. Man, this is a good-looking colt. We looked at his brother by Father Patrick last year. I forget his name. They changed it to No Regrets. Why would you do such a thing? No Regrets.
From a movie.
Is it? What movie?
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers? Really? It's impressive. Well done, Mark McKelvey. Number 123, De Kooning, is selling here late on day number 1. Man, what a gorgeous looking colt this is. Really, really interested to see how this guy goes through the ring. I suspect he'll sell pretty high, a little higher than we're going to be able to roll, but at the same token, I'm going to be watching De Kooning very, very closely. Thank you. You know, but overall it wasn't too bad.
All right, here we go. Welcome back to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We're getting set for day one of the 85th annual auction of the Standardbred Horse Sales Company. Mark McKelvey with another special guest, joined by Jim Campbell. And Jim, thanks for taking a little bit of your time here this morning to join us. We really appreciate it. How are things going?
Happy to do it, Mark. Everything's going along good. You know, we're here. That's a good thing. You know, this only problem with Harrisburg just means winter's coming next. That's I don't like that.
Good point. I was just saying that to you off camera, though. You know, it's been a good, busy stretch of a lot of the big events in the sport, but now things start to wind down and we head into the winter months. And you were telling me you're coming here already pretty much got your barn full, and maybe just looking to add a couple more?
Yeah, most of my owners, they have homebreds, and a couple of my owners had bought some down in Lexington. So, you know, if we get one or two here, that'll be good, because we've hit our number of what I want to train. I've cut back the last few years, and I like training a lesser amount than what I used to.
Now coming here, obviously, I imagine the eyes are on the trotters.
Only trotters.
Only trotters, right?
Only trotters.
So what about some of the new sires that have come along? And I know now, I was talking about this with Anthony a little bit earlier, now that we're at Harrisburg, those that bought them at Lexington, or maybe even earlier had some homebreds, kind of already have an idea of maybe what some of them can do. Is there anything that's catching your eye so far?
Well, I haven't got any that are new this year. Anything that I've broken in so far, pretty much, you know, a couple green shoes, Walners, tactical landings, and which they've all broken in very nice so far. But I haven't broken in any new sires yet this year.
Now looking at your season here, we were just talking about it before we came on camera. Last year, obviously, was a pretty magical season, I think it's safe to say. How was this year? How's 2023 been?
Well, I said after last year, I can never complain about anything because of the year that we had last year, which I can't. This year's been an up and down year, but you know, overall, no complaints. You know, we've had horses that raced in a lot of big races. We didn't win them. Some of them we hit the board on, and some of them we got some fourths and fifths. So we were in the game in the big races. We just didn't win any of the real big ones like we did the year before. But you know, at the end of the day, there was a few of them made some nice money, and so no complaints.
You've been able to win some of the biggest and most prestigious races in the sport, including last year. Do you take time to continue reflecting on that Hambletonian day?
I do a lot, and I even said to myself, driving home that day, I was on the phone with my wife, and I said, of all the days, all the times when I've driven home and been mad or pissed off because things didn't go right, I said I can never do that again, because the day was so unbelievable. And probably have watched the race over 100 times, both the Oaks and the Hambletonian, and reflecting on it and talking about it. And it's just something that I'm very proud of, to say that I did it with the help of my teamwork and everybody behind me. But it's something that I will definitely cherish it for the rest of my life. It was an unbelievable feeling.
I can imagine just how rewarding it must have felt for all that hard work, and it pays off on a day like that. And is that the one thing about this sport? Because you win a big race like the Hambletonian Oaks a day like that, but then there's another day. It doesn't really stop. It's not the end of the season, really. Not like other sports where there's a Super Bowl champion, now they take several months off. Does it take much time for you to the next day to go right back at it and the competitive juices kick back in?
Well, usually in this game, you don't get much time to enjoy it, because the next day there's a new set of drama starting all over again. So you're kicked back into work and planning for the next big race right after that. And like I said, there's always, you train enough horses or you do this long enough, there's lots of drama that goes along with it.
Fair enough, no doubt about it. Well, before I let you go, I have a couple more questions, but you were talking about your all trotters. Explain that to somebody that's maybe tuning in. We've got a lot of clients that are tuning in today that may be trying to figure out whether they want to go after a trotter or a pacer looking to purchase, but you went exclusively trotters, and why would that be?
For a couple reasons. I got to the point where I actually enjoyed training them more than the pacers. But Joel Siegel at Fashion Farms, you know, a while back, he said that he wanted to just to get to, he had a lot of pacers at the time, but he said, I want to get to just trotters. And then my other big owner, Scott Farber, run the TheStable. He decided probably right around the same time too, because he had some pacers and that, and he said, I only want to do trotters. And so, you know, those were my two biggest owners. And then John Florin with Coyote Wind, been training horses for him for the last 6 or 7 years. And John's pretty much all trotters too. So it worked out good because it's my preference, and my main owners, that's all they want is trotters. So it kind of, I was training a few pacers for one of my longtime owners of 37 years, but unfortunately he passed away this year. And he was the only one that had pacers in my barn. So now it's just all trotters.
Well, there you go. Last question for you, coming down to Harrisburg. Do you remember the first time you ever came to Harrisburg?
I do. I had no clue how to get here. I was lucky. A friend of mine, Pete Seaman, who, God bless his soul, he's no longer with us. I was with him, and he knew how to come here, and I was like in awe, because at that time, you know, you had Billy Houghton, Stanley Dancer, and I was just coming off of working for Glenn Garnsey too, and Glenn was here, and you know, the guys who basically the greats of the Grand Circuit for when I was growing up reading about them, they're all here looking at horses, and there was a lot of people here, and it was exciting.
I can imagine that. I was saying just a few moments ago, Dale Welch joined us. There's nothing like a horse sale, is there? It's kind of got that good vibes, and the atmosphere, certainly on the first day especially, it doesn't matter if it's Lexington or here, you can feel it.
Yeah, I always say the horse sale is, it takes away all the negativity that we have the other 51 weeks of the year. Everybody comes to a horse sale, everybody's happy, looking for their next champion, and you know, over the last few years, the sales have been really strong, which is great for the business to keep the business moving along. But the horse sales are exciting. There's no doubt about that.
They certainly are. Well, we'll let you get back to it. Jim, thanks so much for joining us.
Okay,
and,
thanks, Mark.
Up.
Yep, thank you.
All right, let's go back and take a look at a few more of the yearlings selling today.
Number 124 is up next. This is Expedient. Expedient is now always looking for maybe ways we can find our way into a bargain. Embryo transfer, not as much as it used to be, but still is. This is an embryo transfer. New Jersey only eligible. So another way is it's only New Jersey. Now that kind of goes against the grain for what we're trying to do right now for this sale. So again, that shopping cart, is she going to fit in there? For the right price, she could. But a tactical landing, embryo transfer, April 30th filly. This is also a first foal from a Cantab Hull mare who's a sister to Buckeye St. Pat. $2.3 million made. So good family, lots of speed, lots of money in here. And she is a dandy looking filly, but is she going to fit into what we need, what we want, what we're going to guess? I don't know. A little extra rub for this sale will be finding the right horses to fit in the right trailer. So number 124, Expedient. Is this a filly we want? Yes. Are we going to get her for the right price? Quite possibly. We'll see. I wouldn't say quite possibly. I'm going to leave it a possibly. We'll see here on day number 1 what happens with number 124, Expedient. This is number 147, Tactfully Acquired. It's a tactical landing filly. I looked at her pedigree, you know, you see 4 dams on here. The 3rd dam and the 2nd dam are kind of squished together in the middle. It's a Cantab Hall mother, though, that made $250,000. So an odd makeup of the pedigree page, but at the same time, we really have to take a look at the horse also. And number 147 is one beautiful looking filly. I believe this is a filly that might fall into our laps. Having said that, she is a New Jersey only eligible filly, which we weren't really after and we aren't really after, but we are going to make room for horses that fit our financial budget, so to speak. And I believe this filly, I could be wrong, might sell for a fortune. This might be the type of filly that we end up acquiring tactfully. See what I did there? Tactfully acquired, number 147. Can you walk her down for me? Anywhere, yeah. She's well put together filly. She looks like another tactical landing filly I've seen. Watch your back, sir. No, that's all right. Yeah, a lot. Ready? So this is a filly who is a sister to Volume 8. Volume 8 was an extremely good horse. I didn't notice this horse right away. I noticed all the bar hoppings are a little toed out, all of them. But this guy's toed out on both. For those of you the horsemen out there that have seen a lot of babies, you know that trotters are toed a little bit on both. Not really the end of the world for me. Two things about this horse. One, it's a sister to Volume 8, so again, you're talking about residual broodmare value. Secondly, the bar hoppings I think are going to be a little light this year. So here you have a bar hopping filly, smaller filly. She's not a tiny filly, but she's a smaller filly, selling on day one. There's toed out a little bit. This is the type of horse that always maybe slides through the cracks. This is a horse I'm going to be watching very, very closely here on day number 1. She sits at the bar. A May 12th filly, Pennsylvania eligible only. So again, you have single eligibility. You have a filly here that's a little bit toed out. She's a bar hopping. I think this is the type of horse we end up with. I could be wrong, but I'm going to be watching hit number 23 very, very closely on day number 1. She's toed out bad. Look at her brother.
I know.
That's why. I want to look at the video, but there's no option to. Oh, here it is. Both of them are. Where is the fucking video at? So this is number 43, Lessons. This is a March the 30th colt. A green shoe colt, and actually he's quite bigger than most of the ones we've seen. The chapter 7 comes out in the chimpanzees where they're all a little smaller, right? This guy's a little bigger, a little more coarse. Just a bigger, stronger colt, to be honest. 43, I'm not surprised this guy's on day 1. He's bred pretty good. This is again, the Bob Key consignment, selling a bunch of their horses, all their horses, I believe. Sweet of My Hearts, I remember this mare. She was an Angus Hall mare, and this is her second foal. So a pretty good family, top to bottom. Really happy with what I've seen from this guy. I saw a bunch of the chimpanzees. I told you guys I wouldn't mind a chimpanzee colt, and we haven't really found one that I loved. And this guy here is amongst the top 2. I'd say top 2 or 3 that we've seen that I liked. So number 43, Lessons. I think I don't sound super optimistic because I believe he'll go for a lot of money, and we probably won't be able to get our hand up on this guy. But we'll be looking and we'll be watching, and if we can pick him up, then we certainly will. Number 43, Lessons, selling today, day 1, here at Harrisburg. So when I watched the video of this horse, I really liked it. This is a filly, February 23rd, Always Be Mickey. Hey, how you doing? Always Be Mickey filly. I liked her, but then they brought her out, and if you look down, you can see she's pretty pigeon-toed. Now, you know, would I immediately cross a horse off for that? No, but it would have to be the right dollar amount, the right money. You'd have to think that if that horse is toed in like that, it's going to put a lot of pressure on her knees. But we have had horses that are toed in like this before. So I like the video, I like the horse, most of the horse. But at the same token, we're going to be watching number 47. If there's a lot of value found in this filly, then I can easily be talked into purchasing her. We haven't had a ton of Always Be Mickeys, and I'd be interested to get one. And if it is number 47, A Day on the Beach, then so be it. But I don't know, I'm a little skeptical we'll end up with this one. Number 47, A Day on the Beach, selling here on day 1. From Harrisburg. Can you walk her down for me, sir? So number 95, we were here looking at horses and somebody had this horse out on the floor. My God, this is a good looking horse. His pedigree's good, nothing wrong with it. You see a Southwind Frank and a 6-pack on the front end of this mare. This is another Bob Key, Winning Key Farms horse that's selling. Second dam is a dam of Frostbites, 446,000, Polar Rail, 100,000. Some decent pedigree in here, but nothing that jumps off the page at you. But what does jump out at you is this horse himself. Now, we're not here looking for a New Jersey only eligible Muscle Hill colt by any means, and a lot of people are going to look at this horse, but he is a very, very good looking colt. A March 12th Muscle Hill colt, selling here at Northwood. Man, he is one good looking bugger. Pretty hard not to see him. You can see him from the other side of the Coliseum. No faults here. Here he is, number 95. He hunts a May 12th, not March, May 12th colt selling here at Northwood on day number 1.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
By now, you know the name COSA TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. COSA TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA TV, taking Ontario racing global.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
By now, you know the name COSA TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more, COSA TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA TV, taking Ontario racing global.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
By now, you know the name COSA TV, an industry leader producing unique, high-quality digital content promoting harness racing in Ontario. Features, virtual programming, live events, and more. COSA TV has it covered. Follow our social media channels and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page to view the latest content. And if you're looking to bet your favorite Ontario track, check out hpibet.com. COSA TV, taking Ontario racing global. By now, you know the name COSA TV, an industry...
All right, and welcome back to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as we're getting set for day number one. The Standardbred Horse Sales Company 85th annual auction. Day one, the yearlings are going to be coming in behind us in just a few minutes. And we have another special guest, pleased to be joined by someone who is no stranger to the stable, Tim Twala. Tim, how's it going today?
Everything great so far.
Well, you were telling me that this morning you came here and your plan was just to relax. You guys did your homework. Yesterday I saw you guys all around, but you said it ended up being a bit of a busy morning.
It is. I mean, this is first of all, Concord puts out a great breakfast spread for everybody on day one, so I always try and take advantage of that. We did a lot of homework yesterday, a lot of running around, and so today was supposed to be, you know, have a couple mimosas, maybe Bloody Mary or two, and enjoy the breakfast and get ready for the sale. But and we got that done. But we also got a lot of last minute, you know, double checking and, you know, just going over the numbers and trying to get our plan in order. And of course, when the sale starts, everything is so fluid. There's not a lot of time to go back and say, geez, we should have done this or we should have done that. It always happens. Every sale, you're always second guessing and kicking yourself for not making a move on pulling the trigger on this one and that one. But that's life, right?
That's the way a sale does work. Now, looking at this sale and over the next few days, the yearlings that we'll be selling, you mentioned to me maybe looking for around 4 to 6. Is it?
Yep.
Your focus more primarily on day 1, day 2, day 3, or is it really spread out?
It's more of our picks are on day 2, but we've got a number to look at on day 1, like today. It's just a matter of price. You know, day 1 is a hot day. Obviously, they're selling on day 1 because they're supposed to be the better ones, and you know, we'll see. There's always some that fall through the cracks, but I'm not so sure. You just never know. You have to be ready, right? You do your homework and you be prepared, and the opportunity comes and you take advantage of it.
Well, we'll talk a little more about the sale in just a moment, but maybe it's a good opportunity to reflect on 2023. 2022 was a dream year for your operation, and
You were telling me you knew it was going to be hard to match, but this year's
Yep.
gone pretty well.
It's gone well. A lot of disappointments, but a few highlights. It's tough. I hate to knock drivers, and I'm not going to because I've been there. But it's tough when you're a small stable like myself, and with a second stringer kind of horse. He's just kind of below the radar. He's not quite in the top of the elite, but he's in the group that I would consider the best of the rest. And it's tough to get guys to have confidence in a horse like that, and coming from a barn like mine. Whereas Ronnie Burke puts a horse out there, these guys are going to race him, or either that or Ronnie's going to have him by the throat after the race, right? So those horses get raced. And I think if my horse would have been, had a Ronnie Burke or an Alanya or a Toscano or somebody down as their trainer, I think the horse would have a little different kind of year. I think it'd be better, but I think it'd be put in play and make a little bit more money. But that said, maybe the conservative approach made him last as long as he did. I don't know. I know he's very good. I think he's very underrated. And I'm really looking forward to next year.
Definitely. I mean, 4-year-old season can always be that transition year. Some take it better than others. To your point, though, you just told me here, Forever Boy seems pretty fresh right now. We're into November.
He is. Well, like I say, he didn't really have any tough races. Right. We started out the year with a bang with Jurvinsky, and then he kind of struggled after that. But he was in with aged horses, and gosh, gone up against tattoo artists and By the Missile, the Alleywag. The list goes on, and so it's tough, but. I think he's still a special horse, and he's going to prove to be a really useful horse for us down the road.
Well, it's a long season, and we were just talking a bit about that you go into the winter, and for those older horses, I mean, the racing opportunities start early spring, the Yonkers.
Right.
And here we are, there's still there's still a big race coming up at the Meadowlands in a couple of weeks for those horses. So Is it about management, especially looking ahead to next year, or is he the kind of horse that, like you said, maybe this quieter year at 4 might kind of provide a little bit of longevity for him going forward?
I think so, because his staking, he has nothing left on his radar, so now he becomes an overnight horse. So I'm looking for classes for him to race. The Open doesn't fill at the Meadows every week, so this week I have him at Dayton. I'll kind of go week to week and let him kind of tell me when he wants to back off, and he probably never will, because he's that kind of horse. Last year we were at every dance, and everyone said, "Geez, this horse is a throwback." I don't know if it was him so much as I was, because when I was coming up, you had a horse that was staked, you raced him. Every dance we were everywhere, and it was great. So as long as he was healthy, I was going to participate. And he's very healthy. He's probably as sharp now as I've ever seen him. Training this week is the first time he was extremely aggressive and racy. He's never been like that. He's always an easy horse to jog and train, and I train him in company like usually I do, and man, he was just ferocious. So I'm excited about that. I think he's going to be really good this week. But looking ahead, I think maybe I'll manage him a little, and maybe he's got the Borgata series at Yonkers in the new year. Maybe we'll focus on that. Who knows? But we're going to have some fun.
Absolutely. Well, looking at some of the younger horses and looking at the yearlings that are going to be selling this week, your focus, I'm assuming, is PA Sire?
It is PA Sired, but we also have Dapper Dude that my partner and I own, and he's standing in Maryland. And so in the past we retired some of our own mares that we've been racing. We bought him a few that we thought were quality to help start him. And I broke the first 2 fillies this year, and they really seem special. They're beautiful to look at, really nice. So a couple of ones we looked at are also Maryland eligible too. So that's in the back of my mind, that I'm going to be going there with the Dapper Dude fillies I have. Maybe if they're dual eligible, that won't hurt either.
Absolutely. That seems to be kind of the trend, that a lot of people are looking for that, to give yourself those opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, look at Lexington. Yeah. Anything that's Lexington eligible also, just add another 30, 40, 50,000 on their price tag.
Now tell us a little bit about your entire crew that you got here. Looks like you got your family with you this week.
I have
kind of a special week just to get
It is. My son is missing, Parker, and my daughter Lexi. She's in Ohio playing soccer. But I have my oldest daughter Meadow, who's really taken a lead role in coming to the barn and learning, and she's Real treat.
That's great. That's awesome. You guys get to spend that time here. Well, I can hear the announcements kind of going on behind us here. Yep. So, Tim, we appreciate you taking the time. I got to say, you mentioned the word throwback for Forever Boy, but I got to say, I think a lot of people are fans because he showed up and he certainly continues to do that, and I wish you nothing but the best going forward.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Tim.
pal.
All right, we'll take another timeout. We'll come back and wrap up our coverage on day one.
Cheers.
Ready? This guy looks very familiar. This is 153. He is a Father Patrick colt. April 27th colt. This is a full brother to Memory and Imagination. He looks actually bigger than Memory and Imagination does right now, I think. He is a very stout colt. He's not tall. He's plenty long enough, but he's not tall, much like his brother, but maybe even a little more muscled out and filled out definitely than his brother was last year. And quite frankly, maybe a little more than his brother is right now. Very good, as I said, well put together colt. I love Memory and Imagination when I saw him last year, and I certainly like this colt too. You know, a lot of these horses I'm going to talk about, and you might hear the tone in my voice or say, geez, it doesn't seem like he's very enthusiastic. It's just because I don't see how we get this horse, right? We bought the one last year for $77,000. He ended up making $135,000, and quite frankly, if you follow him close enough, you know what happened to him in the middle of the summer. He could have made a lot more than $135,000 had he not been jammed up on the trailer that day. No problem. It's just circumstances and the way it took place. So I liked Memory and Imagination. I certainly like his full brother, You Don't Own Me. Pennsylvania and Kentucky eligible. Absolutely like him, but at the same token, I just don't see how he gets from right here to our barn. But it's the beauty of the sales. You never know. Good?
I screwed up. That one's day 2, 250.
That's all right. Let's go. Who is it? The
Private.
number 244, Mr. Hopper. I absolutely love this horse's video, and he was the first one we come over to here at Northwood when we walked over. He's not a day 1 horse. Certainly looks like a day 1 horse. When we look at this guy, his claim to fame will be in the second dam. That's Corky, almost $1 million made from this guy. Now, I don't know whether this is 897 made in North America, and then an additional.
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
As the industry's leading sales agency, Preferred Equine's new online sales portal, Preferred Equine Online, offers the best online service available. Developed by our experienced sales team, the powerful new platform with cutting-edge technology makes buying and selling easy from the comfort of your home or office over any device. Our experienced sales team offers full customer service for buyers and sellers as it relates to the collection, distribution, and transfer of the horses offered. Sellers can enter a horse as easily as 123 with a searchable database while allowing comments, photos, and other documents. Buyers can view live pedigrees, past performances, and race videos. To view the sales schedule, create your account, or learn more, visit www.preferredequineonline.com or call our sales team at 914-773-7777.
It's Curtis.
All right, we are back here in Harrisburg as day number 1 is already underway for the 85th annual auction of the Standardbred Horse Sales Company. They don't waste any time, Anthony. I think
post time is post time. And there's no Woodbine is not running the post time.
There was no drag. There was an undercut. I don't even know if I've really seen that. If I was selling hip number 1, come on, guys. At least wait till noon.
Yeah.
Let the place file in. But they're underway. And the one thing about this sale compared to Lexington, this is very much like it's just business. Like, it feels like a conveyor belt.
Get
it's
it
just
done.
going.
You're right, and people forget about that. They're so different.
Lexington is more like, hey, let's go get a drink and we're going to go watch the horses
like
sell.
a country club.
Yeah, in Harrisburg, it's more like, you know, grab your pitchfork, let's go. And it was more like, it's a very business-like atmosphere. It's totally different, but it's interesting. I love it being down here too, and it just, year after year, you see the contrast between the two sales, but they're a lot of fun to be at both of them.
No doubt about it. All right, well, we won't hold you up very long because, like we said, the business is... I know I'm not. You'll just slide away anyways if you want to go bid. But as we look ahead here today, based on the vibe I got, Dale Welk, of course, is going to tell me he thinks it's going to be a great sale, and they can't blame them.
Yeah.
They've done their work. They hope that it will be.
Absolutely.
But again, it's about value today, right?
That's right. All about value, and there's a number of horses we're looking at coming up in the, not for a little bit yet, but a number of horses we're looking at, and I really do believe we just take our time. You know, by all accounts, it seems a little lighter to me back here. That doesn't mean the sale is going to be lighter, but it does make me wonder. So I think we are going to be able to find the value we're looking for, everything we want at this sale. So for our clients out there, you know that the buckets didn't sell out. What we're going to do is buy the horses. I'll reach out to all the people that bought the buckets and ask them if they'd be interested in more shares. If they don't, we'll put those up for you right away so we can get those horses moving. This is the last sale of the year. It's the last piece of the puzzle for our 2024 team. It means a lot to the stable and a lot to us. So it's a big sale. Make no mistake, we have some cracks to fill in, and we plan on doing it here over the next 3 days.
All right, well, we'll see how day number 1 goes. We'll be back tomorrow. And amazingly, you just said it's the last sale, and a month from now, I think we're going to be doing an open house. So it moves very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, enjoy your Monday afternoon, everybody. You can track the results, track all of the stable social media pages where you can see the updates. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, to get you set for day number 2 and recap what hopefully is a good day on day number 1. Enjoy your Monday afternoon, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.